What I want to talk about right now is what we call the zip keyword. Now, let me create two lists. The first one is going to be containing some shape labels. So I'm going to say here shapes is equal to square, circle, and let's say triangle. Next, I would like to have a list that contains the centers of those shapes. So I'm going to say centers is equal to a list that contains multiple tuples. Let's say the center of the square on the screen is at the coordinate, let's say 10 by 10. So the x is 10 and the y is 10. And then I have the circle is centered at around 50 by 50. And let's say that the triangle is centered around maybe 100 by 100. Let's say that I would like to print every shape and its center. Python tries to minimize the index access as much as possible. This is why it invented all of these keywords like enumerate and zip. Let's see what zip is. But first, let me give you a scenario where we will not be using zip. So as I said, we will be printing the shape and the center next to it. So we will say for I in range, let's say from 0 to the length of shapes, right? This is how we try to iterate over everything. And then we'll be printing shapes, I, and then here centers, I. When we execute this, we will get square, and then the coordinate, circle, the coordinate, and triangle, the coordinate. That's really good. But as I said, Python tries to minimize this syntax because relatively for Python, it's slow. This is why we have enumerate, we have zip. So let's see how we can do the same thing, but with the zip keyword. I'm going to leave everything here and just write in the line just below it. I'm going to say for. Now we need two placeholders, one for the shape and one for the centers. So I'm going to say shape and center. Those are just placeholders. And then we will say in and then say zip. We will be passing shapes and centers. Okay? And here I'm going to be saying print, shape, and center. Now, this is the same as getting a variable iterating over a list. But let's say you have now two lists. You would need two variables. So we created the two variables. Then we would say zip to pass the two lists inside. I mean, we cannot just say in shapes and centers. This syntax will not work. If we execute it, we will get too many values to unpack. This is why we have zip actually. Now we have two keywords. Each one is iterating over a list, and then we are extracting them right here. So it's a really very similar syntax. Now let me comment this out so that it's not printed. If I print this, you'll see that I got the same thing. And the zip keywords can take multiple lists. Let's say here I have the color of every shape. So maybe here I have red, blue, and yellow. Now I can simply just pass color here as well. And here just say color. No, this needs to be colors actually. These are colors. And this is the placeholder called color. These placeholders can be called anything you want. Now let's print the color. If I execute this, you'll see that now I have shape, center, and color for every shape I have. And this is how we use the zip keyword.